Hi, I'm CJ and this is my RC channel. In this video I am unboxing, already got it started, a Medina 2-meter RES, rudder elevator spoiler glider. I decided to go with the almost ready to fly. This is a kit by ArmSoar. They make some beautiful kits. They're kind of focused on the smaller competition gliders, discus launch gliders, F5K, and RES. And you can buy this as a full build-up kit for $250, or you can get it almost ready to fly as I did for $450. I thought I'd go ahead and just get in the air quicker. Flying season is going to be on me fast, and I got a lot of stuff I want to build, and I thought I would go ahead and treat myself to a couple of easy planes that are built or mostly built. I also have an ArmSoar Fury, which is a that's a F5K glider, competition grade carbon, and it is completely built with the exception of putting in a receiver and setting it up. Again, couldn't resist. It's a little more money, well, a lot more money, but they use some of the best servos, very good equipment. The powertrains are all theirs. That's one of the reasons I like ArmSoar. They do all their own stuff. So, for example, this is an electric glider. It's a 3-piece wing. Here is our kit of cords, pull cables, and let me just get a knife for that. So there are some, this is a really nice feature. I have never seen another company do this. They give us a adjustment gauge to help us set our various moving surfaces, our tail surfaces. This will come in handy on many other builds in the future too, I'm sure. It's a very nice thing for them to put in the kit. It's not a big thing, not very expensive, but just one of those little extras that you seem to get with the ArmSoar kits. Just a very high level of quality. So here is the front of the fuselage, and the holes for our wing are already in place, and there are already blind nuts installed. We got a nice big canopy here. Magnet holds it in place right here and right here. You just slip the tongue underneath and put it down. Very nice covering, very vivid colors. It's beautiful red. Got all the room we need in here for everything. Firewall, of course, is pre-drilled. And I am using ArmSoar's drive system, which I will show you in just a second. Give us some nice decals. And there is our tail boom. I'm not going to cut that out right now. It's just a carbon fiber tube. And like a lot of RES and DLGs, smaller gliders, the lighter class gliders, they use pull cords or pull wires, and they use a spring, a linear spring or a torsion spring to mount or to control the rear tail surfaces. So here is our spoiler. And another nice option that they offer for you, it's a little pricey, but it's worth it because it's got to be precise, is a ballast kit. Now, you got all these aluminum rods. You really only use 2 of them at a time. And as you can see, you've got some heavy metal chunks here. They're basically, they're not tubes, they're short rods. So you take 1 or more of these heavy steel rods and then you fill the extra space in this spar here with the appropriate 2 pieces of aluminum tubing, which are very light. And that gives you your ballast, and it puts the ballast right on here. So you could use all 4 of these heavy steel rods in here like that and fill this most of the way, and then you just backfill it with the 2 appropriate aluminum pieces. And then the wing is very heavily ballasted. The Craft is very good system. As one might expect from, you know, travel and such, this has a few little ripples where it's been subjected to, you know, temperature changes and whatnot. So a little bit of ironing to just tighten up the covering is all that it takes to finish off these wings. They're beautiful round-tipped wings. The construction is just outstanding. Everything is very clean. You know, there's no excess glue anywhere. They do a very, very good job of assembling these. These are all built in the Ukraine. We've got our little pin here, which centers up our wing. So, you know, I mean, there's virtually no gap there. And a little bit of wing tape on these, and to hold them together, and you're flying. Now, they give you very good recommendations on hardware, and they sell everything that you need. For example, this requires 3 servos, and these are extremely small, and they're really good. They're digital servos by KTS. There are 2 that you need that are flat mount, and then 1 that is a horizontal mount. It's the same server, the X06, and this one is the H model. Now, just to show you how small these are, if you're trying to build a competition glider, you want everything to be as light as possible, and it doesn't get much smaller and lighter than that. That is just beautiful. All aluminum, bearings, metal gears, really nice servos. And, you know, imagine if you had spoilers and ailerons as well, separate on the wing. And you had, you know, 2 of these outboard and 2 of them inboard. This little servo probably weighs less than the wire that would be needed to reach out to the outer surface. It's phenomenal how light they are. And, you know, it's a very good name brand. You're not going to have issues with stuttering and jittering. They are definitely a high-end servo, and they're not inexpensive, but they're definitely worth it. And I was lucky. I bought this a little before Christmas, and at the time they were offering a deal. I don't remember exactly how much it was. I think it was like you buy a plane and you get 3 servos for the price of 2 or something like that. In any event, it was a nicely attractive offer. And as I said, ArmSoar, you know, pretty much has everything you need sourced right there. They make their own drivetrains. So this is the motor and ESC for this airplane. And as you can see, it is very small. It weighs next to nothing. And I mean, that's the ESC right there. There's just nothing to it. It's very teeny. It's going to do everything you need to do for a powered glider. You know, usually with a powered glider, you basically need on and off. You know, climb out, get to altitude, cut the motor, and glide from there. But it's nice to have the variable power, you know, for landings and, you know, other times when you may need less than on and off. Otherwise, people would just use a switch, you know, an electronic switch of some type. And also went ahead and got the propeller and nose cone from them. And they have the nice vented nose cones. I really like these where they've got a hole in the center that, excuse me, that's incorrect. This isn't a vented one because you've got this aluminum piece in the very front. I was thinking about another type of spinner that the hole allows air to come in and then around the motor, but I think this is already vented. So there's our mount for the propeller blades, and here is a pair of them. As you can see, they are almost ridiculously small. It's hard to believe that that's a 7x4 prop in there. I bought 2 of them because they were so inexpensive. I think they were about $5 or $6. I thought this would be the most breakable item, so I bought a pair of those. And another thing I bought from ArmSoar for this is some tungsten putty. It's a very heavy clay, so if I need to do a little bit of balancing, put a little bit of nose weight to get the aircraft to balance out properly, I've got this. There's other things you can use too. You can use lead with a little bit of glue it in place, things like that. Some of them are stick-on lead weights, but I thought I'd try this tungsten clay. I'd never seen it before. So anyway, there's our unboxing. We have 2 rear tail surfaces, as you can see. It is a V-tail, and they have a very nice system by which these tail feathers can be removed from the boom, and I will go over that in detail during the assembly. I'll show you the whole setup for this. A lot of times with gliders, I switch the pull cords for like 1 millimeter thick, maybe carbon rods and some pitot tubing. But I think for this case, I'm going to go ahead and go with the torsion springs and the pull cords and fly it as completely as designed. No mods on CJ's part. And oh, just to show you their batteries, they're very reasonably priced. You know, if you buy them from them, you know they're going to fit the plane. You know they're going to work. They're going to have the right connector for your speed control. If you're buying their power module, you're just good to go. Everything at one stop. And these are 550 milliamp batteries. They are 2S bats, 100C to 200C. So these little batteries can really put out some power when called upon to do so. So I'm really excited to see how that little prop and that little motor yank this plane into the atmosphere. It should be quite impressive. And because they were so inexpensive, I went ahead and bought 2 pair for this airplane. I did the same thing with the Fury. And that way I can charge them all up the night before or the morning of, go out to the field with 4 batteries and fly for hours on end. So if I didn't mention it in the beginning, it's $250 for the unbuilt kit, $450 for the almost ready to fly. I almost recommend the ARF. I mean, I love building, but it is very time consuming and it's a lot of work, a lot of glue on your fingers. When you consider that you're going to want, a 2-color build, most likely, if you don't have any covering, that means you're ordering 2 rolls of covering at $20 to $30 a roll, not including shipping. So there's $60 right there. If you don't have it already, you're gonna need glue. You're probably gonna need several kinds of glue. You're gonna need thin CA. You're gonna need some thick CA for gap filling. You're gonna need some epoxy for things like firewall mounting. If you don't have them already, may need some tools. That's a big chunk of change right there. You're heading toward $150 and you haven't put one stick together yet. So for $450 versus $250, it's not a bad deal at all to buy the ARF and then go ahead and get your servos and everything you need. You know, the motor kit, the firewall is already drilled out for this motor. So, you know, just less things to do, less things to worry about fitting or having to customize for yourself. You know, I'm really glad I went in this direction. They've got several different color combinations to go with, and it's going to get you up in the air very quickly. So, you know, whether you want to build and enjoy taking that time, or whether you want to get up in the air fast, let's say you want to fly RES competitively this summer. You know, you want to go out to the field and you want to do well. You want to have a good chance. These are excellent aircraft. They are specifically designed for glider competition in RES or F5K, like the Fury. You're getting a super light motor ESC combo, really light batteries, extremely small, light servos. It's all put together to create a competitive package for you. And, you know, for $1,500, you could throw 3 airplanes together, just like that, bam, and go to the field, and you've got, you know, if you crash one of them, you've got another one to jump right in. You know, great way to go. So, oh, and by the way, ArmSoar, I'm not sure where they do their design work, but they have all of their assembly is done in the Ukraine. The Furies were just delivered recently, another round of them. So, you know, this is a way to potentially help the Ukrainian economy a little bit, buy a plane that's built over there. Something to consider in your purchasing decisions. So I'm just going to set this aside for right now, and in the next video I will be going through the assembly process per their instructions, and getting this thing up in the air, and I will be taking it to the field. And this year I'm making a major effort to get a lot of in-air footage. I've got some micro cameras that I'm going to be mounting on the aircraft, and of course I'll have them on my person as well, so you'll have the pilot's view, and you'll have a view from the aircraft as well. So it should make for some interesting videos. And I've got a lot of planes to fly this year, and if I get a few crashes, you know, unfortunate as that might be, I'll put together a nice compilation video at the end of the year of the highlights, you know, the cool aerial tricks, any interesting aerobatics that I might do with the other aircraft, or any colorful crashes. I'll, of course, beep out the colorful language that would come with that, but, you know, we'll see how that goes toward the end of the season. So, wish me luck. Not bad luck, please. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've learned something and you enjoyed watching, please take a minute to subscribe and click like. That really helps me out. I want to be able to continue making videos for you. I had to stop last year for a year. I had put in a lot of money into this, and I just wasn't making very much from the advertising. Most YouTubers make almost nothing. It's something we do because we want to, not because we're getting rich at it. You know, there are some guys out there with a couple million subscribers who are making bank. I'm not one of those. I don't have a team. I do everything. It's just me. So if you enjoy these videos, do me a solid, click like and subscribe to my channel. That way you'll get notified every time I post a new video. Thanks.